How did I manage to not mute myself before I started the stream? Sorry for that super loud typing. Anyway, actually it's probably still bothering you. It only doesn't bother me because now I've got myself muted. Although I didn't want to have to hear the typing twice, so maybe that was the point. Hi everybody, it's Big Ed Mustafa. Welcome to another edition of Adventures After Dark. I'm excited to be here. I'm on Crick Hollow. I'm playing my namesake character, Big Ed Mustafa. He's a guardian. He's fierce. He's sporting some lovely lacquered armor of the Athelian captain. He's got a ragged burnt cloak. He's level 114 with a bullet. And he is currently finishing some quests in the Waste and some North Athelian dailies and is exploring Mordor. So we got that going for us. And probably still just me tonight, which is okay. It's more fun to play with friends, but if friends can't come and play, then you just have to have fun by yourself. So let's get this party kicked off. We will start with opening a cold, refreshing, delicious Coke Zero. It's the flavor quencher. It makes me happy. And after all these years, I'm still not collecting a check from Coke. It's very disappointing. Tonight's snack selection, I decided to stack it. I have a cup, and I lined the bottom of the cup with Cheez-It Grooves, and then sprinkled cheddar popcorn on top of it. So I have to eat my way through the popcorn to get to the cheddar Cheez-Its. And the grooves are nice because they're thin and extra crispy and super yummo, as Rachel Ray would say. I've had a good week. I hope you all had a terrific week and you're ready for a big old weekend. Such a big weekend, they had an extra day to February. And I am happy to report that for us at least, it looks like March will be coming in like a lamb. So it's going to be slightly above normal. We've had a pretty mild winter, but we're going to be 60 degrees tomorrow, maybe 57 on Sunday. And if the wind isn't billowing too badly, I might even go out and try to wreck an airplane or two at the park. So we had our monthly club RC flying meeting tonight, and that went well. Just barely got to the mute button before I sneezed. So that's kind of fun. Spring's almost here, and I'm getting an itch to get outside. Remote control airplanes are like a video game you can play outside. So if you haven't picked up an RC car, an RC truck, an RC boat, an RC quadcopter / drone, or a radio-controlled plane or helicopter, highly recommended. It's big-time fun and a good way to get some fresh air and sunshine. And hang out with grumpy old guys at the flying club like I do. Let's see what the hobbits have for us tonight. I got a scroll of greater crafting acceleration. I got 100 extra virtue points. And I've got mail. So last week I relisted some armor that I made that didn't sell. Did I price it too high, or did I just need to wait for the weekend for a buyer to come along? Let's check the mailbox. Ugh. Can't believe none of that armor sold. That is a drag. One piece sold out of all of that. $16 gold. It was the most expensive piece. It was probably the chest plate, it looks like. So somebody wanted the chest plate but wasn't too worried about anything else. That actually means I could throw away the rest of this armor and be money ahead. But that's okay. We'll just try it again. I'll get to an auction house and relist it. Somebody had been buying that armor, so if somebody out there has a 100th level character they need to get outfitted, that is a good way to do it. If something you try doesn't work out, you can quit and give up or keep trying. Since it worked before, I'm still fairly optimistic somebody out there is going to want the armor. So we may as well dive right into the Tedmits. Let's see how we're sitting for task item turn-ins. I suppose, like, I'm still choking on Shattered Spears. You know what we might do? Let's pop over to the housing area. And we'll do some task item turn-ins for an area that, quite frankly, I don't want to go back through anytime too soon. I think the Riders of Rohan in Far Anorian comes to mind. I don't want to spend a lot of time grinding out there. So we'll see if we can knock that out. And here we are. My home on Crick Hollow is fairly modest. I don't buy any of the bigger houses. I don't spend a lot of time here except to store stuff. So I'm quite happy with a quaint little Breland cottage. That works fine for me. I do have my home in, well, I should say on Arkenstone fairly well tricked out. And of course the 40 Thieves Kin house on Brandywine. Here on Crick Hollow, it's mostly just a dumping ground for extra stuff. These are level 105, so let's get 100 of these out of my inventory. We'll just do Shattered Spears. That's probably as good as anything. Eventually I'm going to have to go back there and complete Slayer Deed, so it'd be nice to have the travel point. It's kind of the purpose of all this. Is that 10? Task limit reached. 10 of 10. Fantastic. We've already got one of the Tedmits knocked out. And if I accidentally throw that spear away, then look at that. I've got 2 extra pack spaces to work with tonight. Hooray! Okay. So we got that done. See what else we have on the fun agenda. So I completed North Athilian. I pretty much wiped the board with that, except for the remaining dailies I need for rep. Because, you know, there's something deeply, deeply wrong with me, and I can't not have that bar filled up. So if we go to the rep panel, need Eldgang rep, Limelight Gorge, Dunland and Theodred's Riders are things I'm still working on. Well, it's a long-term project. So we got through all of Eastern Gondor. Rangers of Athilian, I'm closing in on finishing that. That will be fine. Defenders of Minas Tirith, ugh. So I'm 51,700 points away, in Minas Tirith from unlocking the final 90,000 rep point uppermost tier. Eesh. Riders of Rohan, acquaintance. Oh, Rangers of Ithilien, I'm close to being done. Riders of Rohan comes after Minas Tirith because this is Old Anorian, this is Far Anorian. Respected in Host of the West. Working on the minor. Oh, I haven't even started on the provisioner yet, have I? That might be fun just to add the bar to the list so I don't forget about it later. And the stuff will come in along in a little while. So even Conquest of Gorgora, I had a lot of work to do. So let's see what's on the quest log. We're going to skip Dunland for tonight. That's more of an off-stream project. Watching me run around and murder gray stuff is not very entertaining for me. I can't imagine it would be entertaining for the viewers. Road to Gondor. My epic storyline stuff is way, way, way behind. I'm supposed to talk to somebody in Belfalis. So Fangorn I basically skipped into, or skipped out of. Herbalism's an ongoing thing. Mushrooms in the waste. Blasted soil in the waste. Sample of water in the Slag Hills. That sounds super fun. Linlight Gorge is something that I'll also do off stream. Lothlorien. Mordor. Looks like I've still got lots of stuff to do on Udun. It's the Rise of Isengard. Roving Threats, we've got a couple queued up. South Ithilien or Osgiliath. Couple of quests I missed in the Rushgore. Black Book of Mordor stuff. Did Marsh's stuff I skipped. And my remaining Tarling's Crown quests. There's also, I think, a deed out there where I need to complete 20 or like a few more quests out of so many quests. That's just a lot of stuff to clean up. Torque Soda, hello. Aurora Ember popping in. Gravity and friends. All 17 of you raiding. Hello, Gravity and friends. Thank you for the raid. I was hanging out over there before firing up myself. Gravity threatened to come by, and much to the disappointment of everybody hanging out with him, he made good on his threat. So welcome everybody from Gravity 42's channel. He was also playing Lotro, and is a recovering Stream Team member himself. Glad to have you with us, Grav, and everybody else who popped over. Glad to see you guys. So, I think I picked up the Harandir travel point. Let's just pop right there. See what's going on. Welcome Pub Rules, welcome Geeks Tour, welcome Edith Eldora. Goofy Old Lady, always a pleasure. Ginger, always a treat. And of course, Aurora Ember is a welcome sight in anybody's channel. This area is always tough for me to adventure in because there's no fishing. All you pull out of the water in the wastes or in Mordor is junk. It's very disappointing. It's a good reason to move on to northern Mirkwood. Get someplace where there's some decent fishing, by golly. Sounds good, Gravity. Enjoy dinner, and we'll look forward to seeing you later. If you decide to fake your own death so you don't have to watch my stream, I completely understand. As would most people who've seen me stream before. But remember, Mrs. Mustafa is grateful for y'all being here watching me, so that way she doesn't have to keep as close of an eye on me. Knew I was in trouble last week. We went out to dinner with our friends. I'll just refer to her as Duressa and her husband Jeff. Duressa is a member of the 40 Thieves, and I was like, did you get a chance to watch the stream? Wondering what her feedback would be, and she was like, I caught a little bit of it, just you and Mrs. Mustafa fighting. So yeah, that wasn't really how I wanted the stream to go, but every once in a while Mrs. Mustafa gets a little bit fired up and just likes to pick at me. So we had a long talk about wrinkling paper, and hopefully she won't be doing that tonight. She does not care to be told what to do by anybody. Least of all me. In fact, if there's two things that infuriate Mrs. Mustafa more than anything, it's the phrases, "Oh, Ed, you're hilarious," or "Ed was absolutely right." Those are like two trigger sentences for her. Not anything she wants to hear. I was stuck on a wall. I need a safe word. Ginger says, yeah, but we keep coming back. Thank you, Ginger. I just figure it's because it's like watching a car crash in slow motion when I'm streaming. Everybody's at their computer just going, did that really just happen? Yeah, it's Big Ed Mustafa. He's terrible. It's amazing to watch. I can't sing, I can't dance, I've got a face for radio and a voice for silent movies, but you guys put up with me anyway, I appreciate it. Mrs. Mustafa puts up with me most of the time, I appreciate that too. She's a good woman, I don't deserve her, but she married me anyway, and I'm lucky to have her. Even if she likes to crinkle paper right by my microphone. We ride for Udun. I did get my Host of the West wrap up high enough to buy the travel point. Harandir is a very short ride into Udun. Although I think I have Udun saved as a milestone. Which is okay. We are killing forge workers. We're killing soldiers. We're killing enforcers. We got all kinds of Slayer deeds to do. We got a bunch of quests active. So I can just plow right into Udun and start finding stuff to do. While we're here, though, we'll pop a run speed buff. So that's got to be handy. Look at the slug. I'm at 98 of 100 for Beast Slayer. We will murder the slug with extreme prejudice. Goodbye, Mr. Slug. This Frenzied Nernoth. He's many of the Forge workers. I'm working on the Advanced Slayer deed here. About halfway through that, 75 of 160. He did not make it. Enforcers? I got a quest to kill 12 of them. I'm at 7 of 12. should probably get through as much of this as I can while I still get XP for dropping these dudes. There we are, Beast Slayer of Udun. That was worth 700 rep points. Very exciting. Let's head this way. There's going to be plenty of stuff to kill all over the place. Gore crows are fun to kill. I like murdering gore crows. I think it was All Up who used to tell me blink 3 times if you need help. Or just look at my camera and be like, "Get me out of here. Mrs. Mustafa's being super mean." No help ever comes, though. Everybody's always like, "I think he's kidding." Still alive. I could have sworn he was dead. Tux Ramus checking in. Hello, Tux. How are you? So if I kill 98 more, or 198 more gore crows, say that 5 times real fast, I can finish that Slayer Deed Advance. That's pretty exciting. Ginger says it would take me a week to get there and it would be too late, so then why bother? Well, just call the local authorities. Let's call the Nebraska State Patrol and just be like, "There's an angry Korean woman and she's torturing a man and he kind of deserves it, but I still think it's probably illegal what she's doing. You guys should go put a stop to it." Then maybe they can find me via my IP address. I do appreciate you at least considering your options before giving up on me, Ginger. Thank you for that. Plus your granddaughter would just be like, "Eh, he likes hazelnuts, let him die." Do these guys count for the Sauron Soldier Slayer deed? This one's going to be kind of inevitable. Even though I'm only at like 12 or 13 out of 160. At least I'm working the Advanced Slayer deed. That's good news. I think this dwarf wants to surrender. Cleavebeard checking in. Hi, Cleavebeard. How are you? It's a war-weary Easterling. I'll close my bags. I just said I'd close my bags. I've been told that my open bags bug people sometimes. Just helps me focus on the importance of inventory management, one of the tenets. I'm doing good tonight. I've had a good week. I am happy for the weekend to be here. I am happy to be hanging out with y'all. And hopefully Alapenya and Aurora Ember will congratulate me on what I hope and believe is the proper use of y'all. It's not traditionally said here in Nebraska. But I have been known to get out of here from time to time and have visited Texas on numerous occasions. I shouldn't be walking around in that. That stuff's nasty. Oh, there's no fish in it. Ooh, a war-torn Easterling hiding behind this cart. Let's free him. 9 of 10. I have been accepting surrenders. I am sad. I miss Zinger. Not having Zinger around to keep me on track is frustrating. It's more fun to play with him than without him. Probably with Lotro, too. Let's get a weird rumor started. No. Hopefully everything's okay with Zinger. I think he was just having computer problems. He might be busy with other IRL stuff, but shout out to Zinger. Hope he's doing good, and hopefully we'll get to talk to him again soon. Pantless says, good night. Geekster says, looks like a McDonald's deep fryer. Yeah, pretty much. He just says, next week we'll teach you the proper use of use guys. I've watched enough Scorsese movies. I think I can probably fake that, too. Forget about it. Use guys? Yeah, forget about it. Hello, Curtil. I wonder what they mean. You brazenly pimp-hand Curtil, but he offers you no additional information. He did not make it. I thought I needed more enforcer kills. Why did that not advance a quest? Oh well. Did everybody wish Pantla a good night? I'm glad Pantla came by. This looks like a forge work I should probably get near. See, it's a great forge work. I knew I needed to get near it. And we're swimming, and we're swimming. Talk about don't drink the water. I will murder you all. I'm looking for backpacks over here. Probably have some hatches to open and close. The trolls aren't anything special, they just count as forge workers. This might be the month, everybody, where your old pal Big Ed gets to actually buy Minas Morgul. That will be exciting. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I would love to see it. I think Gravity was playing there earlier, maybe? It looked like he was kind of running around cleaning up, doing some deeds and things. If you're hunting treasure caches in Forakel, you're deep, deep, deep into your quest log. Alpha Y2K coming in. Special shout out to Alpha. He was brave enough to actually join Uger and me playing another game and came and got brutally murdered with us over and over, but is picking it up nicely and playing well. Thanks for joining us, Alpha Y2K. This looks like an important forge work, and there may be more signal flags nearby. And there's a hatch. And some scarn.
We are Gondor's eyes and Gondor's swords in this place.
This is
Close
a dark
open
place.
hatchways.
A dreary place.
These guys really want these hatches open. I can't imagine why. Why do you want these hatches open? I don't understand. I'm closing it. I don't care what they say. It's true, I am a rebel, Y2K, and I'm out to prove that I've got nothing to prove. Looking for an open hatch that needs closed. Hello, forage workers. Pew-pews must die. That's for real, yo. There's a weird, creepy looking cave. Oh, that looks like it should be a page. I must have picked this one up already. Who knew? There, we got him. Sorry for that brief sound dropout. I forgot to click something in Discord. It is fixed now. Probably could have found a better opportune moment than in the middle of a fight to do that, but I'm just not smart. Gipio checking in. Hello, Gipio. How are you? Doing well, thanks. And yourself? I'm doing great, Gipio. I'm hanging out. I'm playing Lotro. I'm chatting with all of you fine folks. Gravity came by with a raid. Always good to see him. Forgot how annoying these archers are. I like to split apart and both aggro you from a distance. It's a soldier's pack. I found something. He did not make it. This is not considered a great forage work. What snack do you have tonight, Ed? It is a cheese duo. I've got cheddar cheese popcorn and Cheez-It Groove-It original cheddar. These are the big, thin, crispy Cheez-Its. They're good. Last time we went to the grocery store, Mrs. Mustafa was like, "Do we need some more ding-dongs? Do you want some Twinkies?" I'm like, no snacky cakes. It's not that I don't like them, I just don't need to be eating them. Udin is just really slow plodding along. Unless you just finally out-level everything and they're gray to you. Ooh, a signal flag. And in order to pair it with liquid refreshment Gipio, it may surprise you to learn I have selected Coke Zero. That's mainly the reason to not go with snacky cakes. They just don't generally blend well with Coke Zero. You need something with a little salt, a little spice. Something that'll help you drink enough Coke Zero that you can stay awake even through Minas Tirith dailies. Where it's just like, oh, Minas Tirith dailies, shoot me in the face. And then it's like, well, I've got Coke Zero, so I'll be okay. It's a great forage work. That's also a great forage work. Apparently those count as 2. Who knew? He says, oh my gosh, Coke Zero, who would have thought? Exactly. And Alpha concurs. Archers all over the place. I can't actually use that ladder. We've arrived at Mudhallville. That's super exciting. Can't wait to get some recipes from here so I can actually craft something useful. He did not make it. Magical Ducky checking in. Hello, Magical Ducky. Minas Tirith is as bad as the flowers. Minas Tirith is worse than the flowers. You can get through the flower picking in pretty straight order. Depending on what you're trying to accomplish. Ducky and I have some plans for Sunday evening on my personal channel. If you get a chance to come by and say hi, we should be streaming at about 10 o'clock Eastern then. Along with Epic Uger and maybe our friend Gore. Ooh, I found something. 3 of 20. I found something. 4 of 20. Ooh, an enforcer. Let's light him up. There's a lot of Cheez-Its I just picked up by accident. There's like so many Cheez-Its. I want to eat them all at once, but I'm on camera. It's a real dilemma. What is the snack of the evening? Puppet Box asks. Ed with the orange shirt on this Friday night stream. Orange may not be my most flattering color, Puppet Box, but I've never even one time been shot by a deer hunter while wearing this shirt. And, perhaps not surprisingly, my snacks actually blend with the shirt tonight. I've got a combination of cheddar cheese corn and Cheez-It Grooves. So it's cheese, 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 And if I wipe my fingers off on my orange shirt, Mrs. Mustafa will never know. Two-handed sword guardian. Hello, Cynic. I do have a two-handed sword champion I play also. She is on Arkenstone. Pro player tip. If you're playing video games and you don't have a napkin handy and you need to wipe off your hands because you're eating at your computer like I often do, just wipe them off on your socks. Your socks are very absorbent, and if you're wearing white socks, it's easy enough for Mrs. Mustafa to bleach them to get them clean in case whatever you're eating stains them later. So, that's how I roll. It's all part of trying to keep it classy here on Adventures After Dark. Server yawn right now. I am on Crick Hollow. Ooh, I found something. 5 of 20. Which is better for endgame soloing? I think Champion is excellent for soloing at all levels. Chat, feel free to pipe in. Hunters are an excellent solo class. Burglars are an excellent solo class. By the time you get to endgame, you can solo with any class. They're all plenty potent. Is that sock tip approved by Mrs. Mustafa? 18 years of washing my grimy, dirty Cheetos crumb-covered socks. She's still married to me, so if it upset her, I'm sure she would have packed up and left by now. So, yeah, I think it's okay. Tux Ramus says, I play on Brandywine. Champions are good. Yeah, I mean, I've seen, there's another streamer, Andrew Allstars, who used to play Lotro a lot. He could fight out in the Etten Moors on a lore master as good as anybody I've ever seen. He was quite impressive. If you find a class you like to play and play it well, you will do fine. The devs have done a pretty nice job of balancing everything out and giving everybody good variety of offensive and defensive capabilities. So you don't have to be a champion, you don't have to be a guardian, but where guardians are highly desirable is for group content at higher levels. They are the tanking class. If you get a sword and board, they can just absorb immense amounts of punishment. My two-handed sword use currently instead of sword and board is probably better for solo. But I'm also trading up Blue Lion, which is kind of the virtue class of the tank. Let's take a look. Oh, I forgot. I unlocked all 3 trait lines on this character. So he's yellow line two-handed at the moment, but he can go red one-handed, sword and board. He's also, I've got the blue trait line maxed out as well. You can set different trait lines and play different styles on the same character, which is quite handy. Yellow Guardian gets blocked with two-handed weapons. There you go. I think blue does also, but I know blue champion does. That's the only block champs get is two-handed blue. This is actually, I mean, it sounds stupid to say I'm at 114th level and I'm still learning Guardian, but I don't have a Guardian at cap yet, and I am still learning Guardian, so just trying to get the allies maxed out and level up, and love to take this guy through some group content, learn how to tank better than I know how now, but mostly played solo duo with him. Haven't done a lot of grouping up. My loss. think Mrs. Mustafa's home. Rusty small chest. Ugh, more archers. Yellow Cappy is great for heals and tanking. You poor thing. It's your thermostat. I never touched it. You make yourself comfortable. I will adjust accordingly. Ooh, I found a second spy and murdered him. This guy hits hard. It's like he knows he's the last one I need to finish this quest. Did you want to say hi to everybody?
Who's there?
You know.
Nobody? Nobody's watching you?
There could be somebody watching me.
Nobody.
I'll bet there's lots of nice people watching.
Uh-huh.
It could be true.
Can you move down or something?
This is kind of my area, honey.
Move that pot, would you?
Yes, I will move the very precious Coke Zero so you don't spill it.
Did you bring the other two from the car?
I did. We have restocked Coke Zero for the weekend. The Nebraska Department of Health mentioned that in case of virus outbreaks, you'll want to have a couple weeks worth of canned food and beverage on hand. So I've got to make sure our Coke Zero supplies are stocked up.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody ran away.
Is Zinger playing with you?
He is still MIA.
He hates your guts.
Who can blame him? He might have just decided I'm a hopeless case. Ooh, I discovered a forging furnace, honey.
I don't know what that means. Oh, gosh.
Puppet Box says, Mrs. M, I'm not a nobody.
Who?
Magical Ducky's here.
Dexter.
Edith Eldora says, hi, Mrs. M.
Edith Aldor. She's so nice.
Ooh, I found something.
These are the cutest little chickens.
Aren't they totes adorbs?
Did you hear about that chicken farm that went up in flames?
Nope.
it was like millions of chickens got burnt.
Wow.
But then in my mind I thought, ooh, roasted chicken.
This is Mustafa is a big fan of chicken. Not in the humane way.
I love chickens.
Well, you also love eating chickens.
Yep, like I am right now.
Mm-hmm. Diego checking in. Hello, Diego. Magical Ducky says bok bok.
Bok bok is right. Chicken good.
Aurora Ember says, that is harsh, Mrs. M. Cryosect says, you. Chicken good? Exactly. Chicken is delicious.
Roasted chicken. Big bite.
Thank you, Pookie.
That was funny how Luke did the meeting. Here it is. There you go. Get out.
Yep. It's always nice to have a club vice president who doesn't like talking in front of crowds. Bob Z was the same way when he was vice president. That's all I got. Let's go home. Okay, Bob. Good call.
I like you.
Yeah.
What'd you have in the soup cup?
Cheez-Its and cheddar corn.
How was the cheddar corn?
Acceptable. It was better than not having cheddar corn. No, it's fine. There's still a few pieces left if you want to try it. Mrs. Mustafa tried to make herself microwave popcorn earlier today and burnt it. I wasn't angry, honey. I was just disappointed by it. Did you want to apologize to everybody for crinkling paper last week and striking me violently on camera?
Nope.
Alrighty. There's no point in being mad at her. She brought me chicken tenders. That's her way of saying, I'm not really sorry, but I will make sure that you're well fed. I appreciate it. Aurora Ember hates when she burns the popcorn. That's why she got an older time popper. Yeah, Mrs. Mustafa normally prefers a stock pot on the stovetop with a little bit of oil. She bought the microwave popcorn for me, but I hadn't been popping any of it, so she thought she'd encourage me to start eating it and then burnt it. So that makes me not want to eat it.
You'll eat it.
Eventually.
Their fries aren't good.
I don't think they're bad.
Well, they're not good.
They're a little flat. They're a bit under-seasoned, I would say.
Maybe that's it. Under-seasoned.
For somebody who's not supposed to be eating potatoes, much less salty potatoes, I would think you'd consider them quite exotic tasting.
That's a big bite you took.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do that?
Take a big bite?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm tired.
You
No
poor
one can
thing, you've had a
listen to
long
me.
day.
Listen to me snore.
The sound of Mrs. Mustafa snoring has been quite disturbing to friends I've been playing games with late at night. If you lay on your side, you're fine. It's if you roll over on your back, it's thunderous.
I don't sleep on my back though.
You roll over.
Oh.
She's been tested for sleep apnea recently and doesn't have it.
Nope.
Speak of the devil, hello Tanuliel.
Why is he the devil?
Tanuliel is a lady. And the Geeks Tour was talking about all of the snow they've been getting in Toronto.
Oh, right.
I suggested that Tanuliel has a weather machine and she's trying to bury Geeks Tour alive. We all agreed that was probably what was causing it. I think you just spilled.
Where?
Yep. The good news? The Raising Cane's dipping sauce for the chicken fingers
Matt jerk.
also blends well with the orange shirt. Still, you're doing much better than when you were trying to feed me with chopsticks while I was playing Apex the other night. That was a disaster.
Sure.
After we got done playing, I had to get down on my hands and knees and pick up big clumps of rice and pork bulgogi off the floor.
Sure.
For somebody who claims to be from South Korea, you're not very good with chopsticks.
I'm from South Dakota.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I had to say that to my friends.
I got it. It was right here.
Oh, wow. Right there.
Yep, big old splotch.
You should just play topless.
Nope, it's against the terms of service. I have a natural C cup, so I think most of the viewers would like to see me with my shirt off, but Twitch doesn't want me showing skin just to attract hundreds of extra viewers.
You would have thousands of followers.
It's true.
Let me see that popcorn thing. What else did you have in there?
Cheez-Its.
Cheez-Its?
Yeah. Just a little bit of both. Because I ate most of it. So it was delicious.
You said it was okay.
The popcorn was okay. The Cheez-Its are delicious. The popcorn was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Not as good as Huskerland popcorn. But
That
it was also
bacon.
half the price, yeah. I got a bag of bacon cheddar popcorn from up the street that was really good. We would go back and visit him again, but it was $7 for a small bag of...
8.
No, it
That
was
was 8.
$6.50 plus tax.
That was 8.
Nope.
Are you sure?
Yes, I paid.
Positive?
Yes, I paid for it, so I remember.
Okay, here's some ketchup.
Fantastic.
Here's more food.
I will eat that food.
Oh, gosh.
And do you know if we have any more Coke Zero?
You're out. Besides, you don't need one. I'm not getting you one. You can get up and get yourself one.
All right, sweetie, I love you.
Uh-huh.
It could be true. You don't know.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, try not to spill any more than you already have on me.
I like the way I like yelling at you because that lady Teresa today at lunch,
Yep,
she wouldn't be appalled then. She'd be appalled because you yelled at me.
I know.
She's like, oh my gosh. I go, yeah, he's kind of a dweeb.
So Aurora Ember says she's fattening you up for that stew she's going to make out of you one day when she's tired of me. That I don't doubt. Tenuliel said hello. Edith laughed at Aurora's stew joke. Ginger recommended adding salt to the fries. That's always a good idea. Hardhit was thinking the same thing. Turkey dinner.
Turkey dinner?
Tenuliel fully acknowledged that she would happily bury Geek's Tour with her weather machine if she could. Aurora Ember says, ooh, Raising Cane's is good. And Tenuliel says, I'll bet that was totally worth seeing, though. That was a lot of snow.
Do they have?
I don't know.
Why don't you ask?
Geek's Tour, Mrs. Mustafa wants to know how much snow you've had. Sorceress Zero says, this is a great channel. Thank you, Sorceress Zero. Ginger says, Mrs. M sounds so thrilled that it blends in. She was probably practicing stabbing you with them, but you kept moving. That could be, too. I think with the chopsticks. Big Mikey Ocho says, I recommend adding salt to the Ed stew. Darnolf checking in. Hello, Darnolf. And then we got a notification about the weekly beacon. Alright, let's go murder some stuff. Die, Gore Crow scum. Look at me keeping up with chat, even though Zinger's not here to scold me. I think Big Mikey Ocho might be onto something. I think we can all agree that Jalapeno would make a better stew than I would because you wouldn't need to add salt. We can all agree Jalapeno is already salty enough. Ooh, elaborate gear works. That's fantastic. Aurora says, enough that it took him 3 hours to shovel off OFC, the wind didn't help. Might be, of course. Ducky says, well, this is fun, just running around the North Downs killing enemies by sending Slimer after them. Ah, you're playing a Lord Master. Or maybe that's your captain's vassal. You can use wind to advantage. So what am I, a salty duck? Yeah, probably, Ducky. The good news for you, though, Ducky, is when Mrs. Mustafa goes rogue and starts cooking and eating people, she's not a fan of duck. So you might be spared. Only his husband's. Mrs. Mustafa has grown a sudden appreciation for dark meat chicken, which I find annoying because I like dark meat chicken. So that's a good question for chat. Sound off. Dark meat or white meat, what's your preference is? I like the juicy tenderness of dark meat. I think white meat tends to be dry and gets chewy too easy. Which do you prefer when you're dining on delicious birds? Darnolf says, as long as it's meat. Ducky says, no, Captain, one of his 12. Awesome. Aurora likes white meat. Tenulia likes. Sorceress says, fake meat. I suspect we've got a vegetarian amongst us. That's okay. Depends on the cook, Aurora says. Ducky says, white. That or red. Steak. Steak is yummy. Edith says, if it's juicy, I prefer breast. Yeah, it's... Boy, you know, chicken's one of those things that it's easy to cook and it's not easy to cook well. When you run across really good chicken, it's always a treat. I used a gear. I repaired a simple gear works. He's got an open hatch. That should count towards my hatch closing quest. Boy, the lag is real. Oop, the server. My stream hitched. Hopefully that wasn't enough to break it. Hopefully it was just my local playback. I would have reposted our high-level discussion from last week's paper crinkling argument on YouTube, but the stream broke in half, so I didn't post it. I'm not ashamed to show us off, warts and all. All I ask is if I do have to appear in a Lotro video, let me be wearing a clean shirt and not the one that Mrs. Mustafa just spilled sauce on. It's another enforcer I don't need to murder. It's a frenzied Nernoth. Hard Hit likes both kinds of bird. You can only eat a Lotro creature. What would you eat? Well, I'm glad whatever it was, it's a very short hiccup in the stream. Seem to come back fairly quickly. I'd say Hard Hit is pretty well spot on with that pick. Although there are sheep and goats in Lotro, and they are delicious. Something that's not available on regular Earth that is available in Middle Earth? That would be an interesting question. I'm really having to think about this. I don't know if I've got a good snappy answer. I'll bet a vonk meat would be nice and tender. Bacon wrapped vonk nuggets. Those would taste like really nice, juicy bits of chicken. Ooh, we've got a page.
We quelled forges and collapsed mines as we went. But in the end, Udun's best defense was our own haste to pursue the enemy.
Ducky says Hobnanigan's chickens expresses meat for me. Orc? Tuxramus, I swear you bring a real orc in this house and you're sleeping in the garage. Our ox would be tasty. That's a good call. Yeah, nobody even wants to clean an orc, much less cook one. No Man Land boar might be delicious. I discovered a forging furnace. Aurora suggests Balrog steak. Smoke it like a brisket, a juicy spider leg. Aurora says no, Eddie, that would be worse, along with the glowworms. Actually, in Cambodia, tarantula has gotten to be quite the delicacy. Deep fried, no less. Dragon meat might be okay. You'd probably want a younger, more tender dragon, though. Not a fully adult one. Smog was too old, for instance. He probably didn't taste good at all. Escarglow. Sorceress says, spider isn't bad, I prefer scorpion. Are there scorpions in Lotro? There are not, although I've killed enough of them in Fallout 76. Rad scorpions are all over the wastes, and in fact, they're the subject of a number of cooking recipes in the game. Rad scorpion egg omelets, rad scorpion this, rad scorpion that. Aurora suggests that Neeker breakers could be a bit crunchy. Might be like eating crab legs, that could be okay. Mrs. Mustafa is just about out cold already. Troll meat. I'd have to take a hard pass on that, Ranger. And hello? Marinated troll, maybe? You'd have to tenderize it, exactly. And don't let it get exposed to sunlight. You'll never chew through it. I wonder what elf would taste like. We'll ask anybody who plays in the Ettenmoors. Elves are delicious. Elf ears and hobbit feet. Ginger says, did you turn that goat loose? Apparently. I think that's what the gearworks do. You click on a gearworks and all of a sudden a goat comes charging out at you. Elf Mignon. Elves live too long. They'd be old and chewy. Yep, the elaborate gearworks trigger the goat release. Edith says fish. Goats are delicious. Fishes are super yummy. Complete the caretaker. Is that the sound of goats you hear? It is the sound of goats that I hear. You're not the caretaker. Are you the caretaker? Nope. See, if Zinger were here, he would have been like, Ed, you might want to go to town and sell some stuff. I have no idea how long my packs have been read. My cup overflows. You're not the caretaker. I need to get off this ramp. That's going to be important here soon. Okay, where's this caretaker? That's not what I was trying to do. Set as quest guide focus. Okay, caretaker is this way. Dwarf, I think, would be tough meat. I would expect so. The Ornings would be tough meat. Well, I haven't eaten half bear, half man before. I have eaten black bear chili. It wasn't particularly good. I don't see a caretaker over here. I probably need to travel. Roasted Sarah Oak Heart. Hobbit feet has got to be like concrete. Hmm? The orcs love them. My Reaver on Arkenstone's got bags full of them. Stacks of Hobbit feet. I've discovered the Foundry deck. I had to stop and remind myself I'm not playing a game that doesn't have falling damage. Yeah, did you watch the video on Druid's Fire? Hi, Godlike Epic. I have not seen the video on Druid's Fire. Go back to where the ramps are and turn to the cave. This cave? No. Big news on Druid's Fire. I know there is some discussion they're looking for a way to curb the number of times you have to deal with legendaries, i.e. not farming for scrolls 800 times. I would be excited about that. I have shooed the goats off. If I were the caretaker, where would I be? Down by the main road through Udun. Oh, goats with the rings over their heads? No, I don't think I've seen any. Well, that's further down below. Pardon my sneezing. Okay, hopefully I'm over that for a while. Ah! Stuff's starting to disappear. Don't have enough room for that. I should totally have enough room for that. Well, let's see if I've got the travel spots. Camp of the Host. Inn at the Noon. Herondeer. Ruins of Dingarth. We'll clean up our bags and then continue. Thank you, Aurora. Reddit says they're too close together. You can do them over and over. Rider to Mordor. With all these odes to Sauron, it looks a little bit like Graceland after Elvis passed away. Only evil.
Let us not tarry.
Powered Dark Essence of Tactical Mastery. That's super helpful on a melee fighter. What else we got? Black Adamants. Scholar Junk. Scholar Junk. Traveler Steel-bound loot box. It's very important. The whole key to winning Lotro, when you get a Traveler Steel-bound loot box, go immediately to the Lotro store, do what I do, buy a key and open the box. It's full of all the best stuff. You need it to win. Don't miss out on that opportunity. That's very valuable. Techie says I'm a sellout. Tenuliel says I'm a liar. Hey, somebody has to financially support Standing Stone Games. They make a terrific product. We want them healthy and viable and around for the long, long future. Expeditionary Pauldrons. Alright, let's see what we can crush. Definitely those Pauldrons. Those nose. I can probably go ahead and shred that shield. What else we got? High grade Doomfold Scorn. Piles of rich Athelian soil. Too much stuff. This is why inventory management is so important. Okay, nothing's going to disappear for 7 minutes. Let's find the rest of... Oh, clawed wings are useless. Let's sell those. Don't really need one poplar branch. Don't think bloody beaks are a thing. Pookie, did you just wake up?
No,
Okay.
I just sat up.
For Gondor.
For Gondor. I don't see a mailbox.
Come then.
I think this is a fairly short ride. Plus it gives me a chance to eat chicken tenders. Hooray! And catch up on chat just a bit. Geekster believes me. Swiftfire says, did you see the new crafting materials bag in the store? All green stuff in one bag. That's awesome. We have arrived in Dingarth. problem I'm going to run into is as I mail some of the stuff off, it's just going to repopulate in my bag. It's going to take a lot to dig this out. Well, it was better than I thought it would be. Got 3 essences. I can mail the rest of the stuff off, and we'll be good. Inventory managed. Legendary item needs reforged. Completing some Slayer stuff. You've got mail. Relic and Forge Master. Could have sworn I just saw him. Right here.
Now then.
Delarfin, hello. Yep, and have A and I hold his Timbits hostage. Exactly. Edith says, except that the large bag is not quite big enough to hold all the stuff for one craft. Any news from the adventure pub? Kondar asks. That Buckley quote, nice. Thank you. I just like to throw out an occasional thought. Gives you something else to look forward to. Hopefully if my stream's not entertaining enough, there'll at least be a quote from somebody wittier than I. Boy, these chicken tenders will just never end. I've got new mail. Well, I suppose... I hate to spend so much time on character maintenance, but I'm just up against it here. We've got too much loot to deal with. Herky Mad checking in. Hello, Herky. Good morning to you. And happy leap year day. Wow. Thank you, Pookie. Mrs. Mustafa has loaded me up with a spare. I'm sorry, sweetie. Do you want me to stop playing Lotro and come over and rub your back?
Okay.
I wish I could do that.
You would if you loved me,
I know.
but you don't.
I kind of like you. All right, leap day. Sargor says, I came in just in time for the Coke shill. Exactly. I don't know I've even got anything to put in there. What was I going to do here? Oh, clean up my auction items. Let's go relist some of this stuff.
Gondor needs your aid.
Sargoroth says, Ed, you won't believe what I got to drop out of a silver hobbit present. A blemish symbol of the Elder King. That is a terrific hobbit present. What did I get tonight? I don't even remember. It was so awesome. I was like, oh, yeah, thanks. Oh, I think it was an expedient crafting scroll. Help me craft faster. Okay, so those are all back up for sale. Edith Aldora, I got a single hope token. That's the saddest thing I've ever heard, Edith. I am sorry. It's crazy. I had no idea things like that were in there. I think they punched up the Hobbit rewards a little while ago. Same here. It was for 5 hope tokens, though, Ducky says. Edith Eldora, I got a rock. Sargoroth says, but it was on an ore, so it has to stay in my vault for, what, a year? I don't know. Herkymad says, but you can still use the token.
Gondor needs your aid.
Well, I was laughing. I'm playing some lower level characters on Brandywine with Rembenis on Tuesdays and Saturdays. And I think my 14th level burglar got 1,000 skirmish marks, which is a lot of skirmish marks at any level. And I was kind of laughing. It's like, really? I'm 6 levels before even being able to use the skirmish camp. But thanks. How is your bag so big, asks Bill Bowie. It is customizable. Inside your bag, there's a tool called Edit Mode. There's also Lock and Sort Your Items. So if you click on Edit Mode, it will reveal the number of bags that you have unlocked. And you can move your pack space around 5 units at a time. And when you relock it, the bags that have pack space assigned to them will be visible. The ones that have no pack space assigned to them are invisible. So you can have a single large bag, you can have 2 large bags, you can have 3 medium bags or 4 medium bags, you can run 6 small bags. I found when I had multiple bags, I was always rifling around trying to figure out, okay, which bag did I put that stuff in? It's just easier for me to have one big dumping bag. Which, not coincidentally, is kind of how Mrs. Mustafa organizes her purse. She sometimes just carries around a reusable grocery sack with all of her stuff thrown in it. It's quite elegant, actually. Let's get the leggings in. But that is not an add-on. It's not a plug-in. That's built right into the game client for you. Okay, that stuff all got cleaned up. You can get lost in a woman's handbag, absolutely. Oh, I never knew you could do that. That's cool. No problem. Sargareth says, my ex brought a rock back from Fort Collins for our son, and I made a joke about that, Edith Eldora, like from the Bugs Life movie. Well, and then another thing that I thought everybody knew about this. I have a friend of mine who's been playing probably since launch who was like, what plugin are you using to show your LIs over here on the side? And that's also not a plugin. If you go to your legendary items menu, you can turn on and off the different tracking bars for each item. And that's just completely flaggable. Although I'm kind of OCD, I like to have them in numeric order, so I have to go back and turn them all on and all off. It places them, if you turn one off, it changes the order. So then you have to go back and reactivate them to get them to pop up in numeric order. So there we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another thing, I used to worry, it's like, oh, I need to make sure if I want to change my name on a legendary item that I catch it when I go to reforge. You can rename it anytime. There's a little feather here next to the name, and you can rename your stuff 100 times a day if you want. It doesn't cost you anything. I just call this my belt for yellow or red line. And I'm good. So there you go. You can go in and change it whenever you feel like it. It's a happy thing. So that icon is just small enough you might miss it. And just the fact that there's bars over here that you can turn on or off at will, you might miss. So. Oh, Kondar says, several questions and answers at Adventure Pub. Thank you, Sargareth. That should be a very short timeout, Kondar, maybe 10 seconds. So we're glad you're here. We're sorry Moobot timed you out. But I don't make the rules. I just have to live by them. That was Mrs. Mustafa saying hello. And I suppose if the one piece that did sell was the chest piece, maybe I'll just make all chest pieces and load up the auction hall with them. Believe it or not, she's more noisy when she's asleep. It's true. Heavy armor, Anorian battle armor. Metalsmithing lore. Go. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. 60% of the time, it works every time.
Oh gosh.
Mrs. Mustafa does not feel good.
Gondor needs your aid.
We are slowly but surely creeping up on our Tailor Guild reputation. Here we are working towards Eastiment Master. Actually, that'll be Westimate Master, and then there's another tier above that. But we're getting there. I just recently was able to join the Tailor's Guild because I've been Metalsmith Guild.
How may I help you, friend?
Okay, now I've got a full set of armor up here, plus a couple of extra pieces, and hopefully somebody will buy that this weekend. I myself have a bad habit of buying stat
These are
tomes on
troublesome
the
times
auction house,
indeed.
so I am not that flush with cash. I go out and do an auction search. Here's a fun tip. You'll find stat tomes under premium items. Then you just click on stat tomes, and if you go to sort, you can click usable, and any stat tomes that you can actually use will pop up at the top of each page. You still have to go through all the pages. And page 1 looks like it's a lot of agility stuff. Page 2, fate. And nothing I can use is in the auction hall, which is okay. Mrs. Mustafa does not feel well. Is there anything I can actually do for you that doesn't involve me rubbing your body for no reason?
No, you have to rub my back.
I wish I could, honey.
Why couldn't you?
'Cause I gotta play Lotro.
Why?
What if Zinger comes by and sees I'm not even playing
He won't
Lotro
care.
tonight?
He won't care.
He'll think I abandoned him.
You have.
No, he abandoned me. That's different.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to think it's because his computer broke.
Sure.
That poor thing. Something else we can do while we're here?
Rub my back
No.
so I feel better. Why are you so mean to me?
You'll never feel better. You'll want me to rub your back until my hands fall off.
Okay.
Exactly. I know how she rolls. Sargareth says, "Wow, you make that Coke Zero look so refreshing and crisp. I think I will buy some Coke Zero tomorrow." Thanks, Ed. You are welcome, Sargareth. I'm glad that myself and this delicious Coke Zero could inspire you to greater heights of refreshment. Sink says, "Someone is honking at you. You might need to move your car." Just kidding, exactly. Booty and Sanoflex says, "I think your wife is dying." Sargareth wants you to get better soon, Mrs. M. And Booty in Sanoflex says, "This is awesome that Lotro's still around." Lotro's going gangbusters. They added legendary servers. They did the Mordor expansion. They added the Minas Morgul expansion. They added the Iron Hills, the Lonely Mountain. There's all kinds of great content that's just been added recently. Player base is strong and active. It's a lot of fun. Oh, big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. It was worth a try. Tailoring, I don't think I've got the stuff to do anything. Host of the West. I can do a set. I got some more rush cloth. Good deal. Alright, let's go to the workbench. And we'll give this a try. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. Big money, no whammies. 60% of the time, it works every time. I'm disappointed, though. Let's go to the Camp of the West. Host of the West. Camp of the Host. I don't know why that's so hard for me to remember. We'll go back to the Camp of the Host and turn those in. Yeah, Lotro's been terrific. The Battle of Pelennor Fields and the Battle at the Black Gate. And they've got session play where you can play as Gollum a few different places that are pretty interesting. So, yeah. Thank goodness for all of us that Lotro is around, alive, and healthy. So, for those of you who may not have caught me streaming before, and since my friend Zinger is not available to mention it, let's take a look at the 5-10 minutes of quality Lotro streaming. So the 5 tedments of quality Lotro streaming are: thou shalt fish, thou shalt craft, thou shalt do daily tasks, thou shalt commit inventory management, and thou shalt eat on stream. So we've done 4 of the 5. It's been a quality Lotro stream. There's no questioning it. We'll see what else we can get accomplished tonight. Sly Stick says, I wonder what impact the upcoming Amazon series game will have on Lotro. We're all excited to find out. By all accounts, I've heard from people who aren't even into Lotro that Amazon is pouring a ton of money into the MMO development, and they would very much like it to debut along with the series in hopes of maximizing their cashing in.
The Mughal host must be defeated.
We'll turn some into the Provisioner just to get that rep chain started. And I've mostly been working up rep with the Armorer.
We must protect Gondor at all cost.
For some reason I had to click that 40 times, but I can just alt-click that and boom, 4,000 more rep. So that's a whole thing. If I leave the camp of the host and head towards the Black Gate, there will be no fish to catch. So if we're going to fish on stream, we should do it where the water isn't dead. And North Ithilion's quite picturesque, actually. So let's go murder the cat keeper, and we'll fish right there by the water where he normally hangs out. Why is he grayed out? I thought I already accepted his fight. Yeah. That's weird. Oh, defeat orcs and Easterlings. He counts as an Easterling kill. That would do it, I suppose. Ooh, I got 56 marks and 79 shards. That is exciting. Oh, let's go fishing. I got all excited about killing orcs. I was going to double back and go kill orcs real quick. I'm like, nope, stay on task. We came to fish. Although we can pick flowers too. That's super weird. Oh, there it goes. Where did that stick in my inventory bag? Ooh, a dirty skull. I missed a fish because I was taking the screenshot. It was a great screenshot, but I needed to catch the fish. Poor planning on my part. I hadn't noticed until a week or two ago just how detailed the bobber is. It's really quite impressive when you zoom in like that. It looks like a weathered, worn, old balsa bobber. Ooh, a flounder. Delicious. That is an actual game fish. You can cook with it. There's a bunch of master flounder recipes actually. See what I mean about the bobber? If you haven't seen old fishing gear, you may not be able to appreciate it. They really put a lot of detail into that bobber. It's impressive stuff. We have fished. And many of you say to me, Ed, what do I do with all of these fish that I catch? Well, if you like to craft, you save them and give them to your cook. Or, if you don't like to craft, figure out what Alapeña's characters' names are on your server and mail him your fish. He will not want them, and it will be hilarious. Yeah, it really does look nice, Tux Rams. It's impressive work. I mean, for them to be that detailed about their fishing bobber, it's like, nice. I did mention that I haven't spent a lot of time decorating this place. I do have my fishing trophies up. Sturgeon Master. Ruthless Red's not particularly impressive. I got a couple of those up. Trout Group. Trout, Sturgeon, and Darter are all very nice looking trophies. There's the Darter Group. And the refrigeration provided by your housing chest is excellent. You can store fish indefinitely. It'll be fresh and tasty whenever your cook gets around to cooking it for you. So I'm sitting on 203 flounder and 177 carp. The dirty skull I will not save. We'll do something else with that. Or send them to Ginger on almost any server. That works too. The fish recipes are surprisingly good. Normally with trail food you only get one bonus, but the fish gives you 2 bonuses. Excuse me, and it's rather high for each level of the food. So that's the whole thing. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. This is the herbalists. Still running around with the fishing rod in my hand. There we go. Alright, since Mrs. Mustafa is not feeling particularly well, I think I am going to go ahead and call it, not particularly early. I'm normally on late, so 2.5 hour stream feels about right tonight. Let's take a look and see who else might be streaming. Perfect. French Girl Gaming, another Lotro Stream Team member. Let's go raid French Girl Gaming and say hello. And everybody have a great weekend. I hope to see you guys again soon. And I'm sure I'll be around later, and Mrs. M will probably bounce back and be just fine tomorrow. So she's just had a long, busy day and needs some rest. Thanks, guys. And she's listening to Steve Harvey very loudly on the... Looks like it's her phone. I thought it was the Amazon tablet. Anyway, have a great night, guys. Talk to y'all soon. Take care, and peace out. Say hi to French Girl Gaming with me. Let's go say hi.